What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 67 now of the Leeds United Career Mode. First things first, I want to thank you all as well because we've just hit 500 subscribers on the channel as I am recording this commentary. It's at 8 o'clock right now. On Monday afternoon, we've hit 500 subscribers, so thank you all so much for that as well. It means a lot to show you guys the support you guys are showing on the videos and stuff like that, so thank you all as well. Can't express my thanks enough to you guys for that one. But we are going to kick this episode off as well. We're obviously still in the transfer window. I've taken all of your comments into account. It won't be during this episode. It's the next episode where we will be acting on your comments that you left in previous episodes. If you're watching this now and you leave a comment on this video, then I do apologise if it's not done in the next episode. It's because I will be recording the next 2 episodes in bulk, and if it means me ended up with the end of the transfer window coming up, I'll try and leave it on deadline day. So you guys, if any of you guys suggest any players in this episode and you haven't already left them in a previous episode, I'll still try and sign them if you've got enough money, but I'll be acting upon what you guys tell me to do in previous episodes in the next 2 to come after this one. So you're going to see 2 games in today's episode. A game against Arsenal in the Community Shield, which you can see there is obviously not too bothered about it. I consider it somewhat of a friendly type match. Obviously in real life as well, it is considered not very prestigious to win the Community Shield. If you win it, it's just a bonus really. But then we also have our first Premier League game up against Stoke as well to come. Someone who's been quite tough for us in recent, the last 2 seasons in the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see how we can get on. Obviously, last episode we absolutely smashed Leverkusen in the pre-season tour final, and we thoroughly deserved that one after they went down to 10 men. We managed to get a number of players on the score sheet during that one. You can see the team we've named there on your screen. It's a very, very strong team. You'll see it before we go into game as well, I'm pretty sure, as we did take on Arsenal here for the first game of the episode. Looking into this one as just trying to see where we're at currently with the team. Obviously, last season we managed to win the title. This season it's going to be just trying to defend it and also playing in the Champions League, so I'm not sure what to make of the Arsenal team that we're going to be facing here because, in terms of the team we played last year, they had Sonogo up front, which is a bit of a weird one because I don't quite know why Wenger played that side that he did. Giroud came off the bench and actually caused me a bit of danger, but in the end it wasn't enough for Arsenal to get themselves back in it. But I'm hoping Wenger this season has a better job than what he did last season for Arsenal. Although he got them top 4, it would be nice to see them challenging for the title. You can see players to watch there. Danny Welbeck has been one of those players that I just simply cannot contain whenever I've come up against him. But at the same time, Anthony Martial starts for us as well. So we got into this game pretty early on in this one, 6 minutes in, and Danny Welbeck, one of the players who I said I can't quite contain in this game, mugs me off on the edge of the area and fires his strike just wide of that post. It was a good start for Arsenal in all honesty, but 40 minutes into the game, Welbeck again trying to do the close control. This time I managed to get the ball off him, feed it into Eriksen. Eriksen into the path of Anwar, and Anwar goes down the right hand side here. I'm thinking, what on earth am I going to do here? Lovely stop and turn, gets him into position, feeds it into Eriksen. Eriksen one more to Martial, and Martial finishes the ball off perfectly into the bottom corner, making it 1-0 to Leeds United here in the Community Shield inside 42 minutes. It all came at the hands of Anwar and Eriksen linking up, and it fell to Anthony Martial as he fires us 1-0 to the good. A lovely finish in the end because I was actually not sure how this was going to end up in the back of the net. So when it came to me, I saw Donnarumma rushing out and decided to take it first time, and it could have gone anywhere at that point, but it's a lovely finish, and that's why he is worth every penny of what he I won't say what we paid for him, but what Manchester United wanted us to pay for him. Because obviously we got him for free on a pre-contract, but before that we were trying to sign him for an actual transfer fee, and United wanted somewhere in the region of like 50 to 60 million for Martial, which I didn't unfortunately have at the time. But I'm glad we've got him now, and I'm looking forward to using him this season. But 53 minutes into it, Martial involved again into the path of Eriksen. Eriksen to Anwar, and Anwar simply through the legs of Laurent Koscielny makes it 2-0. An absolutely wonderful finish from Anwar El Ghazi. I have to say as well, this guy in recent weeks, or in recent, I meant to say recent seasons, because obviously for me it's been in recent weeks because we played through this the last season in recent weeks, but in recent seasons Anwar has been somewhat of a beast, and I'm thrilled to have him in the team. I'm thrilled as well because he's one of those players that you don't see people buying that often in career mode. A lot of players obviously are very, very liked in career mode, and you see a lot of people using them on YouTube, but Anwar is one of those players that you don't see very often, so I'm happy we found a little bit of a gem there in Anwar. He obviously got the golden boot last season, and he's got the season off to and a perfect start here as well with a goal in the Community Shield. So Martial and Anwar both getting on the score sheet, what you like to see, 2 strikers on the score sheet on the day. Into the 82nd minute now, Divock Origi down the right hand side, puts in a cross into a dangerous area. Anwar says, I'm going to take this on my head, but unfortunately a good save from Donnarumma kept the score at 2-0. And we got ourselves a corner, played it short to Joe Green. Green whips the cross into the area. Martial wins the initial header, Can't make the first shot go in the back of the net, but it gets a second bite of the cherry, but was unable to find the target on that occasion. And into the 87th minute we went. I gave the ball away stupidly here. Chance as the ball was played through, but a very poor through ball in the end gives it straight back to me. And Arsenal at this point really tried to pile on the pressure, but it was a little bit too late in all honesty. 89 minutes on the clock. You can't be trying to come at me at this point in the game, as Martial had one more chance to get himself a second in today's game, but unfortunately he wasn't able to do so. And I don't know why I tried to beat Donnarumma at his near post. I should have gone the other way and tried to, play it into the edge of the area and see who was oncoming to that one. Didn't do it in the end, and it was poor from me. The corner then was dealt with pretty well by Arsenal, and in all honesty, I was just happy to get a 2-0 victory. Like I said, the Community Shield's not something in which I was really that bothered about. Yes, it would be nice to win it, but at the same time, I'm not too fussed if we didn't win it. But the fact that we have, it shows we've still got a competitive team here with this Leeds United team. As well, on top of that, Arsenal had a good team out there today, so to beat them in the fashion that we did, they controlled most of the play. They had most of the possession, as you saw there, 58% to our 42%. But it's about what you do with the ball when you have it, and not what you do when you have it and pass it around your back, put it that way. So, a bit disappointed in the fact that Arsenal aren't really hitting the heights in terms of that one being an Arsenal fan, because obviously recent years they haven't really, pressed for that league title, whereas we obviously won it last year. But hopefully it's a sign of better things to come. Arsene Wenger's men will hopefully have a better season in this one. Not good enough to beat us, mind you, but just good enough so that they can be competitive all the way through, as our Chinese goalkeeper did hit 79 overall. On top of that as well, Rose, the striker, actually went to 70, so that's very nice to see as well. You may be thinking, why on earth am I training up these guys? It's literally because I do believe you've got pretty much as strongest team possible here at Leeds. There's no chance of them ever getting into the team. And at the same time as well, I do have a critical board objective, which is to, improve on youth. So I wanted to make sure we've got a couple of players growing nice overalls. We put an offer in here for Renato Sanchez, one of the players that you guys suggested in a previous episode. Felipe Augusto and £54 million. I was thinking at the time, there's no way they're ever going to accept that. And you can see we have an offer for Costinha, which we accepted there, 3.5 million from Sunderland. He's going to go on a, we got him for free. He's going to leave for some cash as well. So that's very nice to see. But like I said, if you guys have left comments on previous episodes, I'm going to act on them in the next 2 episodes coming. I know there's a couple of players that you guys suggested, like the likes of Grimaldo, one of you guys suggested as well, so I will be looking at Grimaldo, but I'm considering swapping De Siglio for Grimaldo. I know Joe Gomez would be the better one if we had De Siglio and Grimaldo, but at the same time, I don't want to bring in Grimaldo and have him sat on the bench. So my thought process is, I'm going to look at how what overall Grimaldo is, and if he's around a similar one as De Siglio, I'm considering swapping a straight swap De Siglio for Grimaldo, because I think they'll go ahead and do that. But at the same time, De Siglio can play out on the right as well, so I don't know what I'm going to do in that one. I could also get rid of Joe Gomez and have De Siglio and obviously keep him in there because he can play at right back and left back, and obviously have Pereira as a sort of backup centre back, and then we won't have to bring in a centre back at all. That is one thing I can also do there as well. So I probably will think about bringing in Grimaldo. He's one of the players that I definitely will look at bringing in, because I am a fan of Grimaldo. But we did take on Stoke here for the second and final game of today's episode. We do have Martins Indi as well on the bench, so he's a decent centre back, along with the likes of Reece Oxford. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do, guys, I think I will go for Grimaldo and have De Siglio as a backup right back, or rather as our right back, to Pereira backup, and have Pereira as a backup centre back in case we do in fact need him. But 3 minutes into this one here, I thought Anwar was going to get us off to the perfect start, but a lovely save from Alban Lafont, formerly of Leeds United, of course. He was here with us a couple of seasons ago, but then he went to Stoke for £31 million. Kept the score at 0-0, but on the stroke of half time, a pretty much similar chance for Anwar, and this one is absolutely incredible. I said to you guys, we've found a hidden gem in Anwar El Ghazi, and that is just an outrageous goal on the stroke of half-time to make it Leeds United 1, Stoke City 0, an absolute rifle from our number 10. Lafont, yes, he's good. He was equal to the first Anwar strike, but he cannot get anywhere near this one. I think it actually went through the defender's legs. Oh, no, it doesn't. It just goes out of the reach of the goalkeeper and the defender itself. But look at this from this angle. Absolutely unbelievable strike from Anwar El Ghazi. Lafont can do nothing about it, just creeps underneath the bar as it rises and goes into that top corner. Crazy strike, and quite possibly one of the better goals we've scored in the series. I cannot wait for this end of the series top 10 goals, because this is going to be incredible. Some of the goals we've scored in this series, man, is absolutely unreal. So I'm looking forward to that one and seeing where we can get in terms of the goals. So that made it 1-0 here in our opening Premier League game as we look to defend our title in this upcoming season. Then we had another chance here, 51 minutes on the clock. Martial unfortunately didn't get to the initial ball played in by Ericsson, but a mistake by the Stoke defender, and you simply cannot give Anthony Martial this kind of time in the penalty area, because that is what he'll do to you. 2-0 up in 52 minutes, and again, it's Anwar and Anthony both scoring in this one. So 2 strikers, both getting themselves on the score sheet. And yes, Alban Lafont can look as disappointed as he wants, but at the end of the day, he has his centre-back or his defender to blame for that one, because that's just tremendously poor. Martial's closing him down. He should not be caught out of possession there, but take nothing away from the finish from Anthony, because that is absolutely incredible, and that's why he's worth every penny of that £60 million valuation that Manchester United gave us last season. He's absolutely incredible. I'm so glad to have got him on a free transfer, and I'm so glad to say that we are going to enjoy using him this season. So 2-0 up in this one, 2-0 up and cruising, but we had a chance for a third here as it came into Anwar, Anwar into Emre Can, low driven shot, bottom corner, leads 3, Stoke City 0. Absolutely cruising in this one, and then Can just gets on the score sheet here to make it even better for us. You guys know how OP the low driven shots are in this game, and again, we just use it there to our advantage, and Alban Lafont can do nothing about this. And honestly, he didn't deserve to be 3-0 down and concede 3 goals, but when you concede 3 goals to the nature that he has done, you know, 3 incredible goals, you can do nothing about them. I mean, the first one, picked that one out because that's just an insane strike, and then the second one, you know, Martial again, lovely finish, and that one from Emre Can even better as well. So 3-0 victory on the opening day of the season. I'll take it. Very, very nice to get 3 points on the board from our opening game as well. Not only that, we absolutely dominated this one against Stoke, a team that we have struggled with in the past 2 seasons. They've given us some good games down the line, but we've got ourselves off to the perfect start here, perfect winning start as well. 3-0 victory, 3 different scorers, both strikers getting themselves on the score sheet as well, so that's very nice to see. Anthony seems to have just slotted into the team and just come in, and he's going to be an absolute beast all seasons long, and I was, I was a bit disappointed when we didn't get him last season, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but it didn't matter because a season later we've signed him on a free contract, so that is absolutely incredible. I don't know how long this series is going to go on for, by the way, guys. We're in Season 4 now of the career mode, so if we win the Champions League, maybe I'll take it to Season 5 and we'll complete Season 5, but I want to go until we win the Champions League. That's one of the things I've always said I want to do here with Leeds United, and if we can do that, that'll be absolutely incredible. So if we don't win it in the next 2 seasons, I am planning on taking it to Season 5 and ending that off there. If we have won the Champions League before then I'll think about doing another career mode, but up until that point, if we haven't, I'll still carry on and try and win the Champions League with the United team. But I have a bit of a dilemma to make now, guys. Renato Sanchez, the deal was accepted for 40 or 54 million plus Felipe Augusto. But now, looking at this, you can see me here pausing because I wasn't sure what to do. I offer him a contract and he does in fact accept his contract. So I can either take the deal of Sanchez or I can try and go ahead and sign the 2 right backs, or rather one of the right backs, Grimaldo, sorry, and also a few other players that you guys suggested. And I think that's what we're going to do. Although I leave this episode by showing you that I wasn't sure what to do with Renato Sanchez, I just think as though he's not going to get into the team if we get him, because obviously we've got Emre Can, we've got Barkley, we've got Eriksen, we've got a number of players in cam and centre midfield. We don't need any more. So I think for now, that's not a deal that I want to do. Maybe in January, if we have the funds, and if he does in fact want to come and we are getting rid of a player, then I will look at Renato Sanchez again. But although we have a deal accepted for him, I just don't think it's going to happen, guys. And we are coming towards the end of this episode. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you have, smash that like button. Again, thank you all so much for 500 subs. I've been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.